Welcome back to the Franciska Show, a part of JewishCoffeehouse.com, and the show in which people share their stories. This is the Survivor Special, where survivors of physical, sexual, and emotional abuse come forward to share their experiences and thereby raising awareness and preventing the likelihood of it happening again. No further research has been done into these stories. This episode is intended for mature audiences and listener discretion is advised. Names have been changed to provide some privacy to our dear guests sharing their vulnerable and personal experiences. I am Franciska, and you are listening to the No More Silence segment on The Franciska Show. And everyone who's here, thank you so much for joining. This is the No More Silence segment on The Franciska Show. This is once a month. We feature stories of Jewish men and women who have survived abuse, all kinds of abuse. We don't discriminate what kind of. If you want to share your story on The Franciska Show, please do reach out. This is very meaningful. There's so many positive things about this. On one hand, this can be a healing experience for our guests. And on the other hand, it brings awareness and education to the Jewish community, to anyone listening to the stories. And we cover all different types of stories. And if you would like, you can go to the backlog, to my website, or to the podcast, where you can access stories of so many wonderful people who have really gone through so much and learned and healed and shared so much with us. Today is a little bit of a different situation. Our story here, our guest, Cheved, is right at the beginning of her stages of dealing with the story in her life, with this whole journey of hers. And it's going to be a little bit of a different angle on today's show. And listener discretion is advised. You know, there might be more graphic or sensitive information that's going to be discussed. So if this is a little bit too touchy for you, or if you're uncomfortable, I do suggest that listener discretion is advisable. Okay, so Cheved, welcome to the show. We're so honored to have you here. Thank you for being vulnerable with us and being open to sharing your story. And also we'll start with just beginning. Share with us the story and the journey, how it is for you, where you feel it all began. So the mic is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, it's strange and awesome to be part of this. I've been looking forward to this since I heard about you from one of my Facebook friends. Hi guys. Right, I've got lots to say, and I'm really excited to be able to share this because I always feel the need to for me, I find it helpful to talk. You know, sometimes talking doesn't help because something needs to be done. But I feel like I'm in the right space to talk. So last week when I got in touch with you, then I was in a very different space. I was really at my, can't explain, like my end. It felt like the end of the road. I was really suicidal. I think I was like, I just wasn't, see, it's not so much, I didn't want to kill myself. I want to live. It was simply the pain was just too much to bear. Like my heart was hurting so bad that I didn't see a way of continuing. And I was angry at God, so I couldn't really turn to him and say, help me, because I was angry at him and like hurt that he allows such pain in the world. Not only mine, like people have been getting in touch with me and saying that, you know, similar things or stuff that's happened to them. And it just made me so angry that like God could allow it all to happen, because it's in his power to change it. And yes, there's free choice in the world, but it just made me so angry that like sexual abuse can happen by fathers, by mothers, by siblings. It just makes me so angry. And I didn't have the energy to like say to God, please get me out of this. But in my head, I was just begging God to help me out of it, because it felt too much. And I'm very grateful. I have some really great friends, and they actually, it's great to see their response when I told them the good news. I managed to move out my house. Okay, let me start from the beginning. Sorry. So basically, I'm Cheved Grosnes. It's not a secret because there's my face. But I was sexually abused by someone when I was 4. The way I dealt with it, I was a very sad little girl, I guess. As a child, when I think back, I was really sad. I didn't know it, because I thought that was normal, but I was. I didn't have someone to talk to. I'm from a big family, a really ultra-Orthodox family, and I didn't have someone to talk to about anything, really. I wasn't especially close to anyone, but yeah, so I just would, I guess I just lived in my own kind of bubble. There were good times, definitely. I'm not saying my whole life was horrible, but it was really difficult. There was a lot of, let's just say, I'm not going to go into that. So basically, it was really tough. The way my brain handled what happened was, it happened. I was molested, not raped. Whatever, it doesn't. I'm learning that whatever happened, it doesn't matter. Like, I've constantly, for years, I've been telling myself, people have got it worse, and that just belittles what I'm going through and my feelings, and that is just putting down what I'm doing, and that's just unfair to me and to my feelings and to my experience, because it's just as valid. And I think that in itself is such a big revelation to me, to know that everyone has their own story, and just because someone had the same thing or whatever, like, it is what it is, and everyone has to fight in their own way. And I've been doing my best in the strength that I felt I had, but like, everyone takes it themselves. Anyway, so going back, I was 4 when it happened. I remember vividly everything that happened then. I can't remember for the life of me. I've tried for a long time to remember what happened afterwards. Like, as soon as I walked out of that bedroom, no idea. It's like blocked out. So it's interesting because I remember things about that day. I remember what dress I was wearing. I was 4. I remember what dress I was wearing. I remember the weather. It was really stormy. I remember like the bedding, like weird stuff. Anyway, so I walked out of that room and I totally forgot it. Like, forgot that it happened. My brain, to protect me, blocked it out. It's called repressing the memory. I pretended like it never happened. I had, when I was in seminary, when I had therapists, I had this one therapist, I remember specifically, she told me a story of someone that was sexually assaulted. And I was like, wow, that's terrible. I remember being so like disturbed by the story, couldn't figure out why she told it to me. She was trying to bring up memories for me to see if this happened to me, because I had the what's the word? I had all the signs, but she didn't. Anyway, I didn't remember. Then at 19, I left home. Kind of not really my choice. I was sent to America, where I lived in this great house. It was really great for me. Kind of like Rachel's place. I don't think it's a secret. It was really great for me, and I'm really grateful that I went there. I met so many amazing people, and I felt safe for the first time in my life. It's not, just for anyone listening, it's not just about physically feeling safe. It's about emotionally feeling safe and heard and cared for. And when I was there, I felt for the first time like really safe. I was heard, I was seen. It was really, really special that time. I will always love that time. But at the age of 21, I had to leave. But during that time, it was when I had a job. I actually I was in work. I worked in this warehouse, and I had to count something from like 1 to 200. So a very monotonous job. Anyway, I was counting, and it was really strange. Literally, I was in a really good headspace, and this thought, I was like random thoughts going through my head, and this thought just went through my head. He did that, and I was like, wait, that can't be true. That can't be right. But it felt like yesterday. You know, when you get this old memory and you just get this feeling, oh, that was like yesterday, you know, even though it was like years ago. And it just like literally just like that popped into my head. It was the most weirdest thing, really. Anyway, I stood up and I was like laughing and crying. I didn't know what to do with myself. And I was like, can I go home? And they were like, okay. They had never seen me cry before, so they let me go home. They're like, what's going on? I obviously didn't want to go into it. It was a bunch of my guys, co-workers. I didn't like want to go into stuff. Really interesting thing happened afterwards. So I don't like, I'm not religious really. I guess internally I am. I love God, and I like to have a connection with him, and I like to do what I can to connect with him in the ways that I can. But I'm not like, so to speak, religious. Yeah, anyway, that's debatable. But I rode a bike then. I have always loved nature, and I've always loved the sky. Sorry, it's just a bit emotional, this, what happened. So I left work that day. I took my bike and I was gonna ride up the road. And I turned around, and behind me there was the most gorgeous sky. It was like, I think like 5 o'clock, or I don't know what time. And so I just turned around, looked at it, and was like took it in for a second, and then went riding all the way up the road back home. I kept on turning around to make sure it was still there, and it was like real, because whenever it is there, it like really warms my heart. And it made me think in that time when it was just so shocking that had happened, and it made me think. Pretty weird, because I don't think like this often. I really don't. But I thought the story I heard a lot in school when Yosef Hatzadik was taken away and he was sold as a slave, and there was sweet smelling spices, and it just made me think and remember that the pain that I was in then, and the pain, let's say now, as if it was now, God measures every ounce of it, and that sky reminded me that God measures every ounce of my pain, even if I can't see it, and even if I don't feel it. Like, he's there, and he gave me that sky as the sweet smelling spices, and he gave me that as a little hug for my tough day, and he did that for me then, and that was it. It was amazing. Anyway, I got home, and I think it was like Thursday or something. I'm not much of I don't consider myself religious, so I don't really like shul, but the counselor then, she said, oh, do you want to come to short Shabbos morning? Saturday morning. Anyway, I was bored, and she managed to convince one of my friends to go, so then I was even more bored. So I was like, okay, fine. So I went. Okay, so not only did I go, which was really weird because I don't go, but not only did I go, but she, after the Torah portion reading bit, then she asked me to, then we finished, and I said to her, what did it say? And it said exactly that. It said that week about Yosef Atzadik being taken out, and like how he was kidnapped and sold as a slave and whatever. And I was just, that was just so shocking and overwhelming and crazy. It, like that happened that week. It was like such a comfort in a time of like pain. It was incredible. And it was so crazy. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, so anyway, after then I was moving on. It didn't get taken well by people that I'm close to, which it often doesn't, because that means they have to look at themselves and see things as it is, and it's difficult. So it didn't get. I don't know. People ask me if that was normal, that I was responding in such an intense way, if it happened so many years ago. And I was like, I don't know. Am I normal? I don't know. I don't feel like I'm normal, but thanks for asking me and making me doubt myself, which just kind of made things worse. But yeah, it was really horrible. I then had to move out, and I got my own place. I lost my job. I have bipolar.
When you say you had to move out, it's because Rachel's place is only until 21?
I was 21, only till 21, yeah. So I had to move out. It was like, honestly, the best place in my life. When I moved out of there, I moved into my own place, and I actually, like, I didn't manage to, sorry, I'm a bit, I'm not all there right now. Yeah, it was really tough times after that. It was really tough. My mental health was really bad. You know, I just moved out of somewhere, and I didn't actually have family, really. I had some family, but like no one that I could just go to their house and hang out, like as if it's my own house, and just chill. Kind of, I found it really tough. Like I was in the big New York City, and I had friends, but I didn't have kind of, even though I call them my family, they didn't have their own houses, they didn't have their own place. It was really tough. I lost my job, and I had some savings, so that's what I lived off for like a year. Then this all came up again. It was always in my head, but it kind of came up again in intensity, like a year later. And I was doing really badly, and someone close to me was trying to tell me that what happened wasn't such a big deal, and that like molestation is normal and that it's okay. Like, I don't know. That was in their head. They wanted to make it okay for some reason. Yeah, for them to be able to deal with it. So they said that they said, what happened if when you took your brother out of the bath when you were 10 years old and he was 5, you did something to him. And I didn't hear the what happened. I heard I did it. And I was in a bad headspace already. So by the end of that week, I was in the hospital. I was in the psych ward. I was there for like a week or two. That's where I was diagnosed with bipolar. It was actually a really good thing, the hospital. It was a really good hospital. It was really amazing for me. Obviously it was tough, and I didn't see what I was doing. It just felt so dead, and I cried hysterically so many days. It was horrible, but it was good as well, because the crying is part of the healing. Yeah, I was there that was over Pesach 1 year, 3 years ago now. I then I came out, and I was told, someone said it would be a good idea if I let go of my apartment where I was living. I don't know why I'm getting into all details here, but anyway, I found myself back at the hospital, and I was there for like a month all in. In that time, my mother came from England. I'm English, and I was in America, so she came over. My sister had just gotten married then, so she couldn't come over. Another sister had just had a baby, so she couldn't come beforehand. So she came, she said that she cared and everything, and it was difficult for me to understand that she actually did. But she came over. She tries. She really tries, and I do, like, I love her. I also hate her, but that's yeah. She came over, and I didn't dream for a second that I would get taken home. But I had this amazing therapist there in the hospital, and she helped me to let myself be open and hear my mother's, what she was saying, and you know, and she said that she said she cares, and she wants me, and she wants me to live and be happy and everything. And I think that was amazing to hear, because maybe I heard that beforehand, but it never went in. And it was good to hear then. I needed to hear it. And she said that she accepted me, and it was okay that I didn't wear a skirt, or I didn't do this, or I didn't, which was, it was overwhelming. That was huge. I didn't want to go back home, but didn't really have a choice. So I went back home, and I stayed. It's been a long 3 years, really long. It's been really tough. I guess she's tried, like, my family's tried their best, but I guess the fact that the abuse didn't get received well was what hurt me so much, and I can't see past that. Yeah, I really can't see past that. So that's really been, on my part, a very big strain on our relationship. Anyway, so I lived at home in my parents' house for 3 years. I wanted to move out. I haven't been able to. I find it hard. I can't really keep a job. I had a job for 6 months. I lost it. I'm very good at getting jobs and losing them, just as good at that. So I actually managed to go through 1 year of college, which was great. And that felt awesome. I've just been doing things to kind of keep myself busy. Recently, I've gotten busy with cake decorating. Really love it. They come out really good. So I like to make cakes into the form of things. So whatever, pizza cake and whatever else. Anyway, that's really, it's my passion. It's like my creativity, the way it comes out. And yeah, I love that. So anyway, recently things got, I decided to confront the person who's done this. I'll tell you how that came about. Basically, I have a therapist that I got in the middle of lockdown. I found this therapist, and I'm so grateful that I have her. She's really amazing. So she I don't know how she got me to this point, but for years I've wanted to come forward with what happened. I always dreamt in my very darkest mind, I don't know, that I would someday help people who have gone through things like I'm going through. I'm going to help them, get through it emotionally or even financially, if anything, however I can. That's what I want to do. And if I can help someone else's pain be less than what it is, then I have purpose. Then I belong, and I am proud of me, and I'm worthwhile. And yeah, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I was working through this whole thing of, I've realized that I've been a victim my whole life. From the age of 4, probably before. I've been a victim my whole life. And it's a choice. It's a choice. I choose to be the victim, to let that kind of thinking define me and let it just take over and be the control over me. Or I can say, no, this is what was given to me. Yes, things in the past weren't easy. There was that with that one person, and then later on there was other things that happened. I don't really want to go into details about it all, but so other kind of abuse is what I'm saying. I don't want to go into all the details of what happened, but I decided I'm sick and tired of being the victim and feeling sorry for myself all the time, and just waiting for people to feel sorry for me and take care of me because they feel sorry for me. I hate that. I hate that so much. It gets me so angry, but I choose it. I ask for it, and then I get mad when I get it. So, if I want that to stop, I have to be the one to stop it. I'm the only one in control that can stop it. Because I'm the one choosing it, asking for it. So it's like a strange kind of, I don't know, self-destructive thing. Anyway, so I've really been trying the last few weeks to work on this, this this way of being. And I brought this up with my therapist about one week. I was just like, okay, I want to tell you what happened. Okay, I want to go ahead and go to the police with it, or I want to do this. And just like that, I was like, I've got to do this. And she's like, hey, calm down. Like, what's going on? I was like, well, I just realized that if I don't share it, then how can I say to other people who have been through things, how can I say, oh, be strong and talk about it when I'm like 25 and I've never done it myself? Like, it hit me one day, and I was like, no, but with me it's different because of this and this and this. Everyone has their own personal experience. Everyone's is different because to everyone it's very personal, and to everyone it ruins that, it rocks the whole world of what they know, and the people that how they treat other people, how they treat them, and everything. It just changes everything. And so me saying that, oh, it's like just for other people it's going to be different, it's I think that realization was like, okay, fine, I need to do something about it. It's been the worst 3 weeks of my life. Not gonna lie, the toughest 3 weeks of my life. That's what I was saying. I wasn't suicidal as much as I just wanted to die. In my head, I was like, oh, I just want to get high. I don't get high. I don't do that normally. But the pain was so great. One night I went downstairs and I got a bottle of Drambuie. I drank loads, and I thought I'd feel less. I thought it would help me feel less, but this was like sometime last week. It made me feel just stronger, and I cried so much. I left so many weeping voice notes to my friends. And yeah, so many people that it was a really tough time. I just felt like I was so alone and so lost in all of my pain. I couldn't see out of it. And I just wanted to move out because I felt like the balance of control, it was so out of control. One little thing and I was ready to kill myself. And then last week, I don't even know where we're at. Yeah, late last week, I put on Facebook that I'm looking for somewhere to move to, and someone said that I could stay there for 2 weeks. She lives like far out, and it would be hard to get there, but she said, so I was like, great, I felt good. So I packed. I've looked for houses in the past, but it's not worked out. I was so nervous. Anyway, I managed to pack and get to go. And then she messaged me in the morning saying that she's got a friend who actually has a place that she rents, so I could stay there longer, go and see it basically. So I was like, okay, fine. Anyway, it's really perfect location. It was shocking because like so many things seemed to be against me, like that thing that I was saying at the beginning, like I was trying to pray to God and to talk to God. It felt like there was this blockage, and I was angry at him, so I couldn't really get there, you know. But it was so great that like my friends saw my pain, they saw what I was going through, and I had some friends who really did, like, they turned to God for me, they prayed for me, and I feel like with all of us together, like I wasn't able to say any words because it was too much, but I was screaming out just in the way that I was feeling. I was screaming out in my own way. I still haven't managed to kind of reconnect or thank him because I kind of feel guilty for shutting him out then, but you know, that's between me and him. But it's been a rough road. I didn't think I could get through it. I believe that someone I'm very close to last weekend after I got drunk, I spoke to her on Thursday night. That was when I got drunk. I spoke to her that night and I was hysterical. I was just like crying. I couldn't breathe. I was just going so crazy. I didn't see a way out. It just felt like this endless darkness and I couldn't see a way out. I was just like, I need this to end. And she did something really special to me. She made me feel seen and heard and listened, and that was incredible because she finds it hard to validate me when she doesn't know what it's like. It's like for someone else, when what was it the other day, someone was telling me, I don't know, let's say someone's trying to explain something I've never gone through and I can't understand it because I've never felt that way. So here it's with her, like she's trying to understand something. I'm saying like, I find it hard to get out of bed in the morning, and she's like, I don't get that. I don't understand that feeling. For me, that's a daily feeling, and she can't understand it because she doesn't have depression. She doesn't have the things that I have, and I just can't fathom that she can't understand it. So I just get mad then, and it just like, so anyway, she really saw me for what I was feeling and heard me for what I was feeling. And I believe she saved my life last week. I really do. And it feels so huge that it's hard to like grasp really what's happened. It's really been that intense. I keep on thinking of, I don't know why, but I don't know, there's that kid's book of The Lion King, and there's the picture of the lion trying to hold on to the side of the cliff when his brother is trying to throw him off there or something, and like his claws are hanging on there. And I feel like that's how I was. I was so close to killing myself, not because I wanted to die, but just because I wanted to end the pain. It just was so intense. I was so close to it, and I wanted to hang on to that. I wanted to be proud of who I was and kind of leave this world when I'm ready and when I'm proud of what I've done with my life and with who I am. And I want to do better for myself, for others. So many people have done for me, and I haven't been able to see it because I've been in the wrong headspace to even acknowledge that they did something special. And it's my turn to give. It's my turn to share, you know, to give of myself. I believe I have so much to give. and I was like, I don't want to go before it's my time, you know. It's not because I'm want others to feel that the feeling of my loss. Okay, so I get carried away, but basically, something I realized, and someone helped me realize, and I want to share this because I think it's so important. So for me, I've felt suicidal on and off since I was about 12. I didn't even know like how or what to change and how to get things better. But this thing is quite amazing. So a few years ago, I overdosed. And someone that I'm really close to in America was so mad at me. For 2 weeks, she didn't talk to me afterwards. And you could say, why is she angry? But she was just so scared. I messaged her before I took the pills. I took the pills. I messaged her, I took pills, and then I passed out. And she was in America and I was in England, and she did not know what to do with herself because she was so far away and she couldn't. She was like scrambling around. She had to call the English police, and she was really so scared. Anyway, they somehow managed to get in touch with my parents, and I was taken to the hospital, and I was okay. But what struck me from why I'm sharing that now is because she didn't talk to me afterwards because she was angry, and I was just like, I need love now because I'm feeling hurt and vulnerable, and here she is not talking to me. So I was hurt and angry at her, but really like she was so scared to lose me that so angry, which was weird to me, I guess, because I couldn't understand that. Anyway, but this same friend, she's someone that's really awesome, and I'm so grateful to have her in my life. These last few weeks, she's seen and heard and just been there for me. Last week, I was talking to her and I was telling her that I was really hurt, and I said, I nearly killed myself. And she said, wow, that hurts to hear. And I was like, why? And this is what I'm saying. It's shocking, really, because I'm 25 and there's so many people in my life who I know and they know me, some more close than others. But in my head, they all saw me as a nuisance. I was just a bother and I didn't matter. And I'm not saying this that you should feel sorry for me. I'm saying this because if anyone feels this way, it's something to look at inside of yourself, something to really take notice of so they could deal with it. It's not just, oh, she has low self-esteem. There's a reason for that low self-esteem. Like for me, I actually genuinely didn't believe that I belonged in this world. I was enough to be in this world, and I'm enough for just being me. Even if I lie in bed every day and someone feeds me every day, I am enough because I am. God chose me to be in this world. I am enough. This is something I'm saying to me and also to you, but I'm saying it more to me. But what it was so incredible, because when I said to her, I nearly kill myself, she said, wow, like, and then I said to her, why does this hurt you? So she said, because my life, if you weren't here, I would be hurting so much that you're not in the world with me. I need you in my world. And to me, that was the biggest surprise. I was like, really? Like, you need me in your world? Like, it wasn't just then a fight for only me and my survival and my future. It was also she cares and she wants me there, and she'll be hurt if not. So I don't want to hurt her. So I'm gonna fight for her too, not only me. And it was so amazing. And then I shared that with other people, and it's just, for me, that's so. I hope this is, helpful to others. Just look at yourself. Do you feel that way? Do you feel you're worthy in this world? I am trying to make myself feel worthy. I feel really proud of what I've done these last few weeks and the fact that I've gotten through. But like, do you feel worthy just for existing? And then more than that, if you're able to do more, then great. If you're not, if you're doing the best you can by just existing, then good for you. But if you're doing more, then, you're awesome. You're doing what you can. And yes, you might mess up. And I'm sure you do, because you're human. But like, I guess I just want to shout from the rooftops. We're all worthy by just being here. Just take a look inside and be honest with you, and take a look at the you and love you, because there's the little girl inside you that hasn't heard the things she needs to hear. Someone said that I should take I have a photo of me when I couldn't have been older than 5, 6, 7, I don't know how old. Really little. I look like such a little neb. Oh, I look at the picture of the face, and for a long time I couldn't take it out. I had it in this drawer. I couldn't take it out the drawer. I didn't want to look at it. But recently I was able to, and the other day I had a really good cry with that little girl. I looked at her face for the first time in ages. I saw her pain. I didn't want to look at her face because I saw how sad I was in that picture. I took a look at that little girl, and I'm going to be there for that little girl. I'm going to be there till the very last second. And it's not about anyone else, Someday I'm going to find people that matter to me enough. I'm someday going to be in a relationship that I'm proud of. I'm going to have children, and I'm going to build something that I'm so proud of. And I'm aware, But until then, I need to take care of that little girl so that I can take care of my little girls when I have them, because if I don't take care of that little girl, I'll just be passing on my baggage onto my children, and I don't want that,
I'm just gonna cut you off here because there's a few things I want to ask you about before we have to wrap up. So first of all, thank you so much for really opening up. And I know we went back and forth on whether you wanted to share your face and share your name and did this live or should this be pre-recorded. And I know we can continue this conversation on for a few hours. I know there's so much more you have to say, and there's so much you're still figuring out, and this is all fresh and all new, and there's so much history, and there's so much maybe that is so unprocessed yet and so raw. But if there was one thing, and if the people closest to you, maybe your family, maybe even someone in your situation, or even your abuser was listening to this, like, what do you feel like you need to say to them? What do you need from your support system today? And I feel bad I clumped the abuser together with your family and people who love you and your friends. But this is your platform to share right now and do this healing that we're doing. What is it that you want to hear from them? What is it that you need from them?
I'm here. That's it. Like, I'm here. Even when I'm not on the phone to you, even when I'm not talking to you, I hear you, I feel your pain, and I care, And as for my abuser, I know that there's been multiple, but this one that I'm talking about, he didn't. I'm not saying this to sound good or anything, but I know he is a good person. He didn't mean to do what he did. It was one. He's not a bad person. He did a very bad thing. He's not a bad person. And yeah, I go back and forwards between saying, oh, he's not a bad person, and just having some serious rage in like wanting to kill him. So, it bounces. It's not always the same. But yeah, from the people around me, I think it's just literally the two words, I'm here. I hear you. I see you for what you're going through, and I'm here. Yeah. And for anyone out there going through any kind of abuse, sorry. And I hear, and I am sorry, and I do hope that things get better for you.
And we hope things get better for you, and that it only gets better and it only gets easier. And that you only get stronger from this.
Yeah, that's one thing I have. There's that picture, that one of these memes of a wolf with one arrow in his back and him falling on the floor, and then there's another one of a wolf with like 25 arrows and bleeding all over, and he's still standing. Because it's not just about like, this might get harder, life, I don't know, no one can guarantee that it's going to get better from here or anything, but I've gotten through that. I powered through that, and I honestly didn't think I could get through it. I got through it, so I can get through it,
And I'd love to invite you back on, maybe a couple of years down the line, or whenever you want to come on and share more about the journey you're on now, what else is uncovered for you. And I think it's really unique that we got to have you share at this stage in the story, where things are still very fresh and undefined, and everyone watching here, and there are going to be so many listening to this on the podcast later on, they're really all rooting for you, and we encourage people to reach out with support letters and letters of support and love. And I think Cheved here really can use that right now. And please do reach out to me or directly to Cheved, and I'll happily transfer the messages. I think we should use this platform to support each other and to hear you and to see you. We know you're here, and we want to be here for you. So thank you so much, Cheved, for coming onto the show. There's so much more to discuss, but we're so thrilled that you were open and you were really vulnerable with us. And I'm hoping this helps you, and this might help anyone else who might be going through this or seeing someone they love going through this. And with more awareness and with more talking about this and with more openness, we can really help prevent further pain or prevent pain from getting worse. And on the other hand, help healing happen and help strengthen one another. So thank you so much, Cheved.
Thank you for, it feels amazing that I always feel the need to share. So I love that I'm able to share on a bigger scale now. And I think what you're doing is so amazing for the world, and you'll get the credit someday for doing such a great thing by saying no more silence, but for saying no more keeping these things under the rug. We need to sweep what's under there and take it all out and be honest about it all. And yeah, like I said to you on Messenger, someday I want to grow up to be like you when I'm bigger. I want to do that. I want to shout to the rooftops all the things that aren't right in the world. Well, whatever I can. And just do that.
And you're doing it one step at a time, one day at a time. So thank you so much, Cheved.
Thank you.
If you would like to write in or request to be on the show, please do so by emailing me at franciskakay@gmail.com. That's franciskakay@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please do subscribe and go to iTunes and leave us a good review. With your review, the show will rank higher and help others discover the show. This Franciska Show podcast will be hosting a No More Silence special on abuse once a month. However, do check in on other weeks for the interviews with Jewish creatives. See you next time.